What's going on, everybody? It's Monday, December 2nd. I was in San Antonio for a wedding, which was a great time. Me and my wife just danced our ass off. Woo, my voice keeps cracking up, but I'm not going to fix that. So, got to get used to it. I'm real. I'm normal. I make mistakes. It happens. But I was driving back from San Antonio here to Dallas and dropped my wife off at the airport in San Antonio. She's going to some big event. And when I was driving over here early in the morning, I left at like 5:10 in the morning. I stopped at a rest area, not a rest area, but an actual restaurant in Waco. Very famous place called Magnolia Table. If you haven't been, you have to go. It's so good. I went there and opened my laptop. Opened Dash Trader because I was pumped. I was like, okay, I'm going to have a good breakfast and I'm going to trade if there's an opportunity. And I made sure to be real picky, like I want to work on, as I mentioned last week. My focus is what can I do today? It's going to push me forward and make me better than last week and yesterday. And what that is being focused on my niche and what I'm good at, my setups. And if I trade something long, only doing paper money, right? Because that's something that I'm not comfortable with. Now, I was, when I opened up Dash Trader, I haven't used Dash Trader on my laptop in probably months. And so when I opened it up, I was excited. My watch list, though, was months old. It wasn't my current watch list. And because of that, I didn't know what I was waiting for, right? I didn't have any idea what stocks were active on Friday. Like, that was saved on my PC on Dash Trader platform. That was saved there, and I knew what I wanted to do. I have written down, but I didn't take that with me, and so that was a mistake that I made. But luckily, I have a couple of friends who trade, and one of my buddies, thanks so much, Carl, he let me know it was active in the morning. I appreciate the help. I also did my own research, of course, and look at the big percent gainers and so forth. And I didn't see anything that was a great opportunity for me, especially if I'm at a restaurant and I'm trying to have a good breakfast and I don't want to ruin my mood just trading, mediocre setups. And plus, I don't want to do that anyway. I want to move forward, right? That's something I'm working on. And so I didn't trade in the morning. I drove home, opened my PC, quickly opened Dash Trader, and I see my watch list, and on that watch list is HEPA, which is a great setup that I was waiting for. It was moving up, I think, 3-4 days in a row, and today was the first red day. Love that setup. If I was here at my house on my PC, I would have been trading that, would have had a good entry, and would have made a very good return. So that was super frustrating, but it was a good lesson. I talked to Brian Lee at Brian Lee Trades on Twitter. If you haven't heard his episode where I interview him, I would say had a discussion with him, not interview, because he's been interviewed before. And if you haven't heard that, definitely go listen to that episode, Brian Lee Trades. But I told him what happened, and he started laughing. He goes, dude, do you not use Thinkorswim? And I'm like, of course I do. I use the app all the time. I love it. But I just didn't write everything on my watch list on the app before I left out of town because it just slipped my mind. Tell you what, it's a mistake I won't make again, and it's a mistake that will be prevented because he was like, well, why don't you just use Thinkorswim as your charts and Dash as your execution, which obviously, yeah, I should, and I just didn't want to do that because I'm very anal about like using one platform, but I said I'm not making this mistake again. So I love how Thinkorswim goes across platforms on their app, on their desktop. If you open your laptop, it goes across all platforms as long as you log into your account. So that's what I did. Today I spent the rest of the day setting that up. And I did make a trade in the afternoon. It was actually on Roku. Roku was gapping down because it had some negative news. I think it was JP Morgan. I don't remember specifics because I really don't care about the specific news. What I care about is there's a catalyst and this stock is gapping down huge. And because of that, I actually saw it when it was bouncing, and it was bouncing in the key area. And I don't know these numbers exactly because, well, that doesn't really matter. But it was like, let's just say let's just say like, I don't know, 140.50. And it was holding that area. And so I shorted it because that was also a key area on the chart. I shorted risking out for 140.75. I got in at 139.52. And so pretty much risking about $1 a share. Covered some in the 137s and 136s. Making a good 2.5R, 3R return. And was really happy about that trade because I number one, it was a setup that I was patient for. I saw it and it came to me. Number two, I didn't even take full size at all. Like I say, 1R. 1R, that's one of those setups that I'm experimenting with. As I mentioned in the previous episodes where I am experimenting with setups I'm very familiar with, but not comfortable with yet. I'm taking, maybe quarter size overall. That's what I did. And so I was happy with that trade. Had a good return, and today has been a really good day. I mean, it's been a good lesson day. I am adapting, right? I mean, I'm going to use Thinkorswim with my dad's trader for executions, and I had a good day overall, right? Like I didn't force anything. I did trade long, a couple of setups that were only paper accounts, and I was completely wrong on them too, and I'm still trying to figure out how to long setups. And had a long talk with Matt Monaco, who is part of Beyond the PDT, and great kid, love that guy. And it's crazy, he's so young, and it made me feel so old. He thought I was a lot younger. I appreciate that, man. But he's doing really well. He has his best month this month, and he's long bias. He's been really trading like more of the mid caps trades, and that's something I've been experimenting with as well. So it's something I'm going to continue to experiment with my long trades, which I'm not good at, what I'm going to continue to practice on. But I will say this. Today on my short on Roku, I was very tempted to cut it for a break even or even a small loss whenever it went against me. Because when I got in at 139.52, it dropped immediately to like 139 and then 138.70. And I was like in the money. I was like, all right, things are going good. But then it started to bounce. It went up to 140. And I was like, oh, here we go. And it went to 140, hanging out there for a little while, a lot longer than I wanted. When you're trading, something's hanging in that area for 5 minutes. It feels like eternity. That's what it felt like. And I almost cut it. But I told myself, nope. I'm working on sticking to my plan. 140.74, 75 is my risk. That's where I'll cut it. And it hung down in the 140.40s for a while. And then, as I mentioned, it tanked and kept going down. So that's just reassurance. And, I'm trying to have more belief in my trades. And that's a trade that I'm not 100% comfortable with, but it's something I'm familiar with. And I'm trying to believe that, when I place a trade, it's because I saw the odds in my favor. And so I need to stick with the plan. And I'm glad I did because it did work out. They might not always work out, but I'm just happy how it panned out. So that's today, Monday, the 2nd of December. Hope you guys are having a great day. Make sure if you're listening on the show, on the podcast, give us a rating and review because it helps me a ton, especially on the podcast platforms, on the Apple especially. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much. Hit subscribe, hit like, and stay in contact. I love all you guys, and I just want to continue to grow and share this journey because there's a lot of ups and downs. Today is an up day, and not up because of profits, but because up. Yeah, it's because of that, but also mainly because I feel good how I'm trading. And that's what I want to focus on tomorrow, just feeling good about my trades. Hopefully I can continue that and push forward. And it looks like I'll be working here soon with an actual company, probably by Monday, depending on what offer I take. But like I said, I'm not going to give up on my journey either. So I'm going to share this with you. I'm hoping that it can inspire some people who are trying to do this part-time, because I'm going to do it part-time. And really, I mean, when you're trading, you can say part-time, but you really don't need much time at all. I mean, it's like 30 minutes and that's it, max, throughout the whole day. And if you're a swing trader, which is something I've been experimenting with, which I did on Disney, I talked about where I got in the 130, 240, sold at 139.50. Super excited about that trade. It was a swing trade. I was expected to hold it for about a week, 2 weeks, but hold it for about 2 days, 3 days, 2 days, I think 2 days. And I was pretty happy about that. So, depending on how you trade, we can make things work. And I was so wrong I was in a different philosophy where I felt like I could only trade full time if I sat there full time. And that's not the case. I'm glad I did though, because actually talking with Matt Monaco, he's like, when you spend all that time there, you really, you get to learn what you're good at, what you like and what you don't like and what you're comfortable with. And now I know that. And now I can now just basically spend 30 minutes and I'm done. And that's what I'm really trying to get better at, streamlining this process and continue the profitability and minimize the mistakes. And by doing so, I should be able to get back on the horse and move my profit curve up and maybe make it to where it's a good income. So that's what I'm working towards. Hope you guys are having a great day, and y'all take care.